Hi, it's John Robertson giving you an update on what I've been doing recently. The event was about trying to gather information from an inquiry we're doing into the energy companies, fuel poverty and in general climate change as well and how it affects ordinary people. And we went to Annie's Land as it was my idea, so we managed to kick the whole show off in the constituency. We went to Annie's Land College, where we had over 50 people turn up and got a series of questions which we will now take and ask the energy companies and of course the ministers in charge of energy and climate change. Ibrahim Magag is somebody who is suspected of orchestrating terrorism in this country, and he had been under the old system of being detained. He was kept under surveillance and also, in this case, down in the southwest of England, where he couldn't cause any trouble. He came back to London and within a matter of hours had disappeared, and he got in a taxi and that was the last anybody saw of him. And this was because of the change in what they call TPIMs down here, which was important to keep an eye on people. Unfortunately it didn't, and as such this man has now been at large since Boxing Day, and I've been asking questions of the Prime Minister and ministers to find out what they're doing to try and find this man. Yes, I met with Mexican parliamentarians yesterday, I think it was yesterday, yeah, and that was to do with climate change. There were Mexican politicians from all three of the major parties in Mexico, and they were over here to see exactly how we had put our original bill on energy and climate change together back in 2008, and where we were going and how it was progressing. They've also got legislation in place and they're following us down the road on it, and they were here looking for advice and help, which obviously we are very happy to help them with. And there's no doubt that Mexico is one of these nations who have taken on board energy and climate change, and I expect them to be a major influence in that sphere in the years to come. The fair tax on flying, I've had lots of letters and postcards about this over probably the best part of a couple of years now. And the reason I get involved in it is simply because I believe, and particularly in Glasgow, we're treated badly in relation to people in other parts of the United Kingdom. Those of us that live in the sort of northeast of England and Scotland get a double, what they call a double dunt. We actually pay tax to fly to London to get a plane to fly abroad, and then we pay tax on that too. And what we're saying to the government is it's bad enough having to pay a long haul tax, but to pay one to get to a plane, to go on holiday or to go on business or whatever, is just not right. And the fact is the taxes are getting higher and higher, they're index linked to inflation, and let's face it, the only things that are index linked to inflation are rising prices, and it doesn't apply to people's wages and what they've got to spend. So I think it's time the government took a serious look at it. We want to encourage people to come here, and we want to encourage people to be able to afford to go on holiday, and that's what that's all about. Constituents who come down here, we try and look after them, show them around the Palace of Westminster, and if it's possible we get them tickets for whatever questions are on in the day. Occasionally we can be very fortunate and get tickets for Prime Minister's questions, as I was lucky this week to get a few off a colleague for a mother and son who had come down for his 13th birthday to celebrate. He's very interested in politics, and it was great for him to be able to go up there and see the Mother of Parliaments in action, and I know he enjoyed it because we had a chat afterwards. It's important that every constituent knows they have access to these things. If they're down in London and they're looking to get something arranged and organised for them, then they phone my office, and my office will see what they can do in arranging a visit. It's not always possible to get tickets for everybody for everything, but if I get enough warning and I can get a few dates. Who knows what we can do for it. We'll do our best, and like we did this week, perhaps even get the tickets for Prime Minister's Questions. But those of you that want to come, I look forward to seeing you down here, and otherwise I look forward to hearing from you back in my constituency, and I'll be in touch again in the very near future. Thanks for watching.